This is Chapter 4, 4.1 to 4.7. In INTERROGATIve, all verbs are formed beginning with the verb stem. For example, verb stem plus an ending equals a complete sentence. You cannot have just a verb stem alone. It will not be a complete sentence. For example, pisoak with a dash means to walk. The dash after pisoak means that you need to add either a postbase and ending or an ending after it to make it complete. The language contains a highly detailed set of verb endings which leave no doubt as to the exact person and number of the subject. Depending on the last letter of the verb stem, you will either use plus tu or plus ru. When you use the plus t, you will use that specific one with the verb stem ending in a consonant. You will use the letter R when the verb stem ends in a vowel. So you will see here, this table, we have first person, second person, and third person, that first row. Then we have whether it is singular, dual, or plural for each of them. And then you have your plus T, or it could be plus R. And then the endings, nga means I, so it could be tunga, tuguk, tugut, for I, we two, we three, tutin, tusik, tusi, for you, you two, you three or more. And then you have tuk, tuk, tut, for she, he, or it, they two, or they three or more. For a verb stem ending in a vowel, endings must begin with R. For example, nere is a verb stem that ends in a vowel, so we will use the endings beginning with R. So for example, we will use runga, and then we combine them together, and it will be nere runga, I am eating. Nere roguk, nere rorut. Nere roruk means we two are eating. Nere rorut, we three are eating. Nere rutin, you are eating. Nere rusik, you two are eating. Nere rusi, you three or more are eating. Nere ruk, she, he, or it is eating. Nere ruk, they two are eating. And nere rut, they three or more are eating. For a verb stem ending in a consonant, endings will begin with T. For example, pisoak, to walk, and that verb stem ends in a consonant, Q. So we will use the endings in T. So, for example, pisoak dunga, I am walking. Pisoak duguk, we two are walking. Pisoak durut, we three or more are walking. Pisoak dutin, you are walking. Pisoak dusik, you two are walking. Pisoak dusi, you three or more are walking. Pisoak duk, he, she, or it is walking. Pisoak duk, they two are walking. And pisoak dut, they three or more are walking. However, T may be palatalized to CH or S by a strong I in the verb stem. So for example, if you have a word with a strong I like tikit, it's spelled T-I-K, strong I-T, it will change, you will use the churut ending. So tikit churut, we have arrived. Another example is annek, A-N-N, strong I-Q. That strong I will change the ending to an S. So it would be annek surut, annek suruk, we too are hurt. So here is the overall picture where you can see the different endings, their definitions, and you can see the stem word that ends in a vowel, an example word, and you can see the stem words that end in a consonant and the sample ending with a consonant. Basically what we just went over. Interrogative, which mean question endings. So depending on the last letter of the verb stem, you will use either PI or VI. So these are question endings For a verb stem ending in a vowel, the endings must begin with R. Let's use the same example of nere, to eat. When we want to ask, like, am I eating? Nere vik. Nere vinuk. Are we two eating? Nere visa. Are we three or more eating? Nere vin. Are you eating? Nere visik. Are you two eating? Nere visi. Are you three or more eating? There is also, let me mention, another way to ask, are you eating? The common one, we say nere vin, are you eating? But you can also say nere vit, are you eating? It means the same thing. To ask if she, he, or it is eating, we say nere va, nere vak, are they two eating? Nere vat, are they three or more eating? For a verb stem ending in a consonant, endings will begin with a T. Let's use the same example as earlier. Pisok, to walk. It ends in a Q, a consonant. So we will use the T endings, the P endings. Pisok bik, am I walking? Pisok binuk, are we two walking? Pisok bisa, are we three or more walking? Pisok bin, are you walking? And like mentioned, you could also use the pit ending. Pisok bit, are you walking? Pisok bisik, are you two walking? Pisok bisi, are you three or more walking? Pisok ba, is she walking? Pisok bak, are they two walking? Pisok but, are they three or more walking? An inibak question covers both present and past tense. So, for example, nere, nere vit, or nere vin, are you eating or did you eat? When you ask this question, it could mean, are you eating right now or did you eat? Imek, imek but, are they drinking or did they drink? Annek, annek ba, is she hurt or did she get hurt? Makit, makit ba, is she in the process of standing up or did she stand up? Su, su visik, what are you two doing or what did you two do? Akupi, akupi vak, are they two sitting or were those two sitting down? Pamak, pamak bit, are you crawling? Or you could say pamak bin, are you crawling or did you crawl? Present and past tense. The past tense endings are not much different from present endings. The only difference is that we add a vowel a as a marker for the past. So, for example, for the present tense, we say nererok. He is eating, like right now. He is eating. But when we want to say past tense, like he ate, we would say nererok. You see that we added the extra a in there. Nererok, 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 nererok. Depending on the last letter of the verb stem, you will either use toa or roa. When you have a verb stem that ends in a consonant, you will use toa. When you have a verb stem that ends in a vowel, you will use roa. So for example, roanga or toanga, I, roaruk, toaruk, we two, roarut, toarut, we three or more, roatin, toatin, you, roasik, toasik, you two, roasi, toasi, you three or more, toak, he, she, or it, roak or toak, they two, rot or tot, they three or more. For a verb stem ending in a vowel, endings must begin with roa. These person markers may be replaced by me for one S, G and I for one, so one first person singular, G and I for first person dual, and NI for first person plural, thereby producing such forms as niliroami, I ate, instead of nilironga, and then you would use nilirorani, we two ate, instead of niliroruk, and nilironi, we ate, instead of nilirorut. So here the table just shows you the two different ways of saying it, nilironga or niliromi, I ate. Nilirorut or nilirorani, we 2 ate. Nilirorut or nilironi, we 3 or more ate. And that is just for the first person singular, dual, and plural. When you have a verb stem that ends in a consonant, you will use toa. For example, pisok. Pisok doa nga, I walked. Pisok doa ruk, we 2 walked. Pisok doa rut, we 3 or more walked. You could also, like mentioned earlier, use the first person singular, dual, and plural, the different ways of saying it. So you could say pisok doami, pisok doani, pisok doami. To say you walked is pisok doatin, pisok doasik, you 2 walked. Pisok doasi, you 3 or more walked. Pisok doak, she walked. Pisok doak, they 2 walked. Pisok doat, they 3 or more walked. Here are some examples. Nereva, is he eating or did he eat? Nererok, he is eating. Nererok, he ate. Isikba, is he entering or did he enter? Isikdok, he is entering. Isikdok, he entered. Ekayukba, is he helping or did he help? Ekayukdok, he is helping. Ekayukdok, he helped. The present indicative endings are used when the action being described is ongoing or the action has just been done. The past indicative endings are used when the action has been completed for some time. So, for example, tingmirok, he is flying. Tingmirok uvlak, he was flying this morning. Anneksok, he is hurt. Anneksok aku, he got hurt a while ago. Tikitchok, she just now arrived. Tikitchok unnok, she arrived last night. Akbatuguk, we 2 are running. Akbat doaguk unnorman, we 2 ran yesterday. Sinikdok, she is sleeping. Sinikdok aku, she slept a while ago. So basically you would use the past tense if they happened like a while ago or it has happened for some time. The postbase -VV, so we previously talked about that. So with nap, you would use a verb in front of it, a verb base word, and after using nap, it will still be a verb. So the postbase nap plus the indicative ending is used to indicate the future, will be doing something. So for example, uvlaku tikin nap dut, they 3 or more will arrive tomorrow. Upinraru aularenak durut, we 3 or more will go camping next summer. Akaru mikurenak dunga, I will sow later. Akubak aturenak dunga, I will sing right now. The postbase ngit, VV. So with ngit, you have to use a verb base word and the result after using that postbase will be a verb. So ngit means to not do something or to not be something. The plus sign over the minus sign means that the postbase deletes stem final K or Q and capital Q, but not T, which remains. So remember, the plus sign with the minus sign together, that means you have to delete K, Q, and capital Q in the base word. But you will not delete T. So remember that VV, you have to use a verb stem with that one, and the result will still be a verb. So for example, nere ngitchok. Since nere ends in a vowel, we will automatically add ngit. Nere ngitchok, he is not eating. Mayok, we delete the final consonant Q, and the result will be mayungi chok, he is not climbing. Isek, we delete the final consonant Q and it results in isengi chok, he isn't coming in. Savak, we delete the final consonant K and the result is savangi chok, he is not working. The last letter at the end of the stem words are the letter T. T remains. However, you have to apply assimilation. So if you have a word that ends in a T, So the TN will equal NN. However, when using the POSTBASE NEAT, it will change to N with the tail. So, for example, let's look at akbat. Akbat plus NEAT. So the TN changes to NN. So it would be akban NEAT chok. He is not running. Also, NEAT has a strong I. So because of that strong I, we will be using the endings chok and not ruk or tok. So it will be NEAT chok. The next example is makit. We apply assimilation, TN equals NN. So the result is makin NEAT chok. He did not stand up. The POSTBASE la. This one means to be able to do something. It is also a VV, so you have to use a verb stem word, and the result will be a verb. So the minus sign indicates that the final consonant of any verb stem is deleted. So every time you have a POSTBASE that starts with the L, you will automatically know that you have to delete the consonant from the stem word, the last consonant. Strong I palatalizes the L's. So therefore, you have to make them go to the next power of L with dots when you do have a strong I, like nere. The strong I palatalizes and changes the two L's to L's with dots. So nere la ruk, he can eat. Pisok, we delete the final consonant and it changes to piso la runga, I can walk. Savak, we delete the final consonant K and it changes to Savalarurut, we can work. Tikit has a strong I, so it palatalizes the two L's to L's with dots. Tikilarut, they can arrive. Akbat, we delete the final T and it changes to Akbalaruk, he can run. POSTBASE LAIT. LAIT means to never or to not be able to do something. This is also a VV, so we have to use a verb stem word and the result will be a verb. The minus sign indicates that the final consonant of any verb stem is deleted. For example, aghlaq, we delete the final consonant K and it changes to aghlalaytjuk, he cannot write. Ikayuk, ikayulaytjuk, he never helps. Pisoak, pisoalaytjuk, they too cannot walk. Savak, savalaytjuk, it does not work. Interrogative questions for a person or object/animal. Kinya, who, is used to ask who of a person. Kinya, who, for one person. Kitkuk, who, for two people. Kitkut, who, for three or more people. Notice that the number of the interrogative ending matches the number of the verb ending. So for example, Kinya igalava, who can cook. So iga is to cook, la is can. The ending va refers to he, she, or it, and then kinya refers to who one person can cook. Kit cook akuvitbak. So highlighted in red, you can see that they both end in K, so that's like who two people sat down. Who two people are sitting. Kit kut pisok but. Same thing, they highlighted in red, they're both end in T. So kitkut, who three or more people, pisokbat are sitting, like three or more people are sitting. Or sorry, walking. So who three or more people are walking. Su or suna, what, is used when referring to animals or things. Su or suna is like what for one thing. Suk is what for two things, and sut is what for three or more things. Notice that the number of the interrogative ending matches the number of the verb ending. Suk tikitbak, what two things arrived. Suna pangalikba, what one thing is running. Sut anibat, what three or more things went outside. The enclitic lu may be attached to the interrogative question. For example, kinyalu, and who of a person. Sunalu, and what of an animal or object. Keep in mind that when there is more than one subject, their total number determines the number of the verb ending. Kinyalu kainyak bisik. who will be coming with you. Kinyalu is like and who. Aranagalu kainakturuk, the woman and I will come. Sunalu kalunlu katakbak, what fell along with the cup. Savigilu kalunlu katakdoak, the knife and the cup, those two fell. Kitkugulu kainak bisi, who two will come with you, or who two will come with you, or who two will come with you two. And you can repeat after me. Aghlaq, aghlaq, aghnaq, aghnaq, aghnayaq, aghnayaq, akupak, akupak, akutchi, akutchi, angon, angon, anguti, anguti, angutayak, angutayak, atuk, atuk, aulaq, aulaq, ikayuk, ikayuk, sinnik, sinnik, tillai, tillai, tillak, tillak, tingmi, tingmi, unnoq, unnoq, upinraru, upinraru, uqaq, uqaq, utiq, utiq, uvlaku, uvlaku,